Okay, so we're going to continue with prime factors, and today is going to be finding the lowest common multiple using prime factors. So hit pause, get lesson objective, heading and keywords down. So as usual, we've got our starter. So hit pause, have a go. When you're ready, hit play again. Okay then, let's have a look at the solutions then. So first one is find 3/7 of 35. So remember, two ways of doing it. Divide by the denominator and then multiply by the numerator. So we can have 35 divided by 7, which is 5, and then we do 5 times 3, which is 15. But also, if you recall, we said 3 over 7, of means times 35, and then we can cancel then. 7 goes into itself one time, and 7 goes into 35 5. 3 times 5, 15. So either method is fine. Question 2, 14 out of 20 as a percentage. Percentage means out of 100. We got 14 out of 20. So to get it to 100, what do? Multiply it by 5. If we do that to the denominator, we've got to do the same thing to the numerator. And can't do that in my head, so I'm going to do it here. 14 times 5, 5 times 4 is 20, 0 carry 2, 5 times 1 is 5 plus 2. 70 out of 100, which is 70%. Question 3, which is the best value for money? So that's the mantra that we always say, make them the same, make them the same. So which is best value for money? A 300ml bottle of shampoo for £1.20 or a 400ml bottle of shampoo for £1.40. So to make them the same, two ways of doing it. I can look for a 100ml bottle. 100ml means I'm going to divide by 3. So that will cost £1.20 divided by 3, or 120, gives me 40 pence. And here, to get 100ml, I've got to divide 100 by 4, so the cost is going to be 140 pence divided by 4. 4 goes into, oh, I tell you what, instead of doing it in my head, let's do it here. 140 divided by 4, can't go into 1, carried 1 into 14, it goes 3 times, carry 2 and into 25, 35 pence. So the larger bottle, and you remember you have to state it, 400ml bottle is best value. And number 4, how long does the 1117 from Warrington, let's see, there's Warrington. I tell you what, I'm going to go for a highlighter. There's Warrington. And there's the 1117. How long does it take to get to Nottingham? There's Nottingham. And it gets there 13:32. So let's have a look at the timeline then and see what's going on. Want my pen back. So I haven't got some space here. We'll do it. 11:17. I'm going to go to 1200 hours. How many minutes is that? 43 minutes. 43. And then from 12 till 100 hours, 1300 hours, that's 1 hour. And then from 1300 to 1332, it's 32 minutes. Giving us a total of 2 hours and 15 minutes. Okay, good. Don't rag your work yet, because I've got a couple more questions for you. So you can copy the corrections down, and then when you're ready, have a look at the next set of questions then. Okay, good. Here we are. So with these questions, hit pause, have a go. When you're ready, we'll go through the solutions together. Okay then. So what's the multiplier for a 30% increase? So you're going from 100 and you're adding on 30%. So that's 130%. Multiplier is the decimal, so that's going to be 1.3. Use a conversion graph to change 60 miles into kilometers. So 60 miles. Remember, we have to draw a line across where it hits, and it's just beyond the corner of the grid there, and comes back down. Whoops, that's terrible. It's about there. And that's the worst line I've ever seen. And that's going to be 96 kilometers approximately. And this shape is a square-based pyramid. Good. Now we can rag rate the 7 questions. So hit pause, make your corrections and rag your work. Once you're ready, hit play again, and we're going to look at finding the lowest common multiple. Okay. So last 2 lessons we've spoken about prime numbers. We know what they are now. They're numbers which have got 2 factors, 1 and themselves. 1 isn't a factor because it's only got 1 factor. And we've looked at the prime numbers up to 50. 2 is the most special prime number because it's the only even prime number. Okay? And you need to know, oops, all the prime numbers up to 50. Good. Moving on. Lowest common multiple. What does multiple mean? Now we know that as being times table. So the lowest common multiple then of 2 numbers is the smallest number that's in both their times tables. So that number's got to be bigger than both of those numbers because they can both go into it. Okay? So if we look at an example here, the lowest common multiple of 3 and 5 is 15. Because 3 goes into 15 and 5 goes into 15. And it's the first number they both go into. So if we look at the 3 times table here, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. And 5 times table, 5, 10, 15. I tell you what, I'm just going to extend that up to 30. 18, 21, 24, 27 and 30. And then here, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 and 30. You can see they both go into 30, but that's not the lowest number that they go into. The lowest number they both go into is 15, and that's why that's the lowest common multiple. We can have a look at the same thing here with 2 and 7. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26 and 28. And 7 goes 7, 14, 21 and 28. Now I can see 28 in both of them, but that's not the lowest. The lowest common multiple is 14. Okay, because that's the smallest number that they both go into. And that's your lowest common multiple. So I want you to hit pause, make some notes on the lowest common multiple. Once you're ready, hit play again, and we're going to look at an example. Right. So to find the lowest common multiple using prime factors, we're going to find the lowest common multiple of 28 and 42. Okay. So our prime numbers, remember we list them at the top, starting with 2. It's the most important one. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11 and 13. we don't need anymore. If we do, we can write them in. And we find the factors of 24, the prime factors rather of 28. 2 goes 14 times, circle the 2. And then we check if 2 goes into 14. Yes, it does, 7 times. And 7 is also a prime, so we circle that. So we can say 28 is equal to 2 squared times 7. And if we look at 42, check 2 goes into it. Yes, it does, 21 times. 2 doesn't go into 21, so we try the next one, which is 3, which does go. And that's 7 times. So 42 is equal to 2 times 3 times 7. Now, to find the lowest common multiple, the LCM, what we're looking for then is is the biggest number. Well, we're looking for the numbers that are common with the biggest number. So we look at the 2. We're going to take the 2, but we're taking it to the power of 2, 2 squared, times, so we're taking all the numbers, times 3 and times 7. And that's our lowest common multiple. When we work it out, it's 4 times 3, which is 12 times 7, gives us 84. So 84 is the smallest number they both go into. And if you look, 42 times 2 is 84. And 28 times 3 equals 84. So that's the smallest number they both go into. So what you do to find the lowest common multiple, you take all the numbers, you can take the 2, the 3 and the 7, and we take the biggest power that's available to us. Okay, hit pause, copy this example down. When you're ready, hit play, we'll look at another example. Okay, this time we're trying to find the lowest common multiple of 48 and 120. So we first write our prime numbers. We go up to 13. We don't tend to need any more. If we do, we can add them in. Check 2 first. Yep, it goes there 24 times. And then we check 2 again. Yep, 12 times. Circle the 2 because it's prime. Check on 2 again into 12. Yep, 6 times. Circle the 2. And we check 2 goes into 6 3 times. Both are prime. So we can say that 48 is equal to 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 to the power of 4 times 3. And we do the same thing for 120. So does 2 go into 120? Yes, it does. 60 times. Circle the 2 because it's prime. Check if 2 goes into 60. Yes, it does. 30 times. Circle the 2 again. Yep, 2 does go into 30. 15 times. Circle the 2. Now, 2 doesn't go into 15, but 3 does. 5 times. And they're both prime. So we can say 120 is equal to 2 to the power of 3 times 3 times 5. Okay, 2 cubed times 3 times 5. And the lowest common multiple from that then, so we can say the LCM, let's write it down here. We take all the numbers. There's 2, there's a 3, and there's a 5. So it's going to be 2 times 3 times 5. But we also take the biggest power. So the 2 is to the power of 3 here, but 4 is bigger, so 2 to the power of 4 is just 1 3 and just 1 5. And we work it out then. What's 2 to the power of 4? Is 16. And times 3 times 5. So we got 16 times 15. Gives us 240. So like before, hit pause and copy the examples. Before you do that, just have a look at what we're saying. So we're looking for all the numbers, all the prime numbers. There's a 2, a 3 and a 5. So we take all the numbers and then we take the biggest power associated with them. Biggest power on the 2's is a 4, so we take that. It's just 3 to the power of 1 there. And it's just the 5 on its own. So we have no more powers. Hit pause, copy this example down. When you're ready, hit play again, and we'll look at another example. Right, your turn. I think you can do this. Find the lowest common multiple of 60 and 96. So in the first instance, what I want you to do is to find the factors of 60 and the factors of 96, the prime factors, and then use them to find the lowest common multiple. So hit pause, off you go. Right, prime factors of 60 are 2 squared times 3 times 5. Prime factors of 96 are 2 to the power of 5 times 3. So we take, as we said earlier, we take the maximum that we can get. Oops. So we say LCM is equal to, take all the numbers. This is 2 times a 3 times a 5, and take the biggest power available. So it's 2 to the power of 5 times 3 times 5, which gives us 480. Good. Hit pause, copy the examples down, and then write classwork. You can do some classwork for me. Okay, and some classwork for you. Find the lowest common multiples of the following sets of numbers. I wouldn't start with the first row. I'd start from question 5. Okay, cut the rest out. Okay, off you go.